Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're going to be checking out the proper New Year's event for Idle Heroes. This was delayed by a week from last week, and it's got a lot of things to it which we've seen before, and also some aspects which you should really watch out for, whether you're a free-to-play player or a spender approaching this event. Now, there's lots of rewards on offer, and this event can be super confusing for many, so I'm hopefully going to break all that down for you today. Now, before we go ahead and check out the event, let me remind you about Patreon. It's a way you can support this channel financially, and in return get some perks like account reviews, which we do on Tuesdays. If you want to go ahead and get more information on account reviews, go into our Discord, you can find a link in the description. And as well, guys, why not go ahead and consider backing me on Patreon like Dylan did this week. So thank you, Dylan, and if you want to be like him, go ahead and click that link in the corner of the screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at this week's event for Idle Heroes. Each day for logging in, we're going to get ourselves 4 dice. Now, these dice can be used in MKxAdventure and are really important for doing this week's event, so make sure you log in every day to get these. You'll also get 100 secret pumpkin soups, and you can also collect these from campaign as well as a loot reward. So if you go ahead and click claim, you'll see that you will be progressively getting these all week as well. So by getting all that stuff, you'll be able to get some really cool rewards, which we'll talk about in a second. So we have value packages this week. These are giving gems, these are giving dice, and these are giving these coins called Adventure Gold 2.0s, which is pretty much what they were doing last year when we had an event like this one. MKxAdventure is here too. This allows you to roll dice to get rewards, and as you go around this area, you'll improve these squares. Once these mushroom huts are passed over, whether they're level 1, 2, or 3, you'll get either 3, 4, or 5 stars. These stars can be used to get points, and these points can be used to get rewards as you progressively move up. Free-to-play players typically expect to get around this 5-star hero, sometimes 230 if you spend gems and push that far. If you spend money, you'll expect to get the 9-star puppet, or even this week you might want to go a little bit further as well. You can buy 30 dice this week with gems. You can also get more from the shelter mission, where if you go ahead and pick up each of these 5-star heroes, you'll get yourself 5 additional dice too. So make sure you log in every day, make sure you do your shelter mission, and make sure, if you need to, you spend gems. On top of that, we are getting these heroes from the shelter mission as rewards, which is great. We've got Saja, Betty, Arania, and Siahu, so you'll need 4 stars from their factions to get this. You'll need assassins from the Fortress faction for Saja. You'll need to do 4-star mages for Betty. You'll need to do 4-star warriors in the Forest faction for Siahu, and for Arania, you'll need priests. That shouldn't be too hard. You put in a 5-star for each of their factions as well, and a copy of them will get added to your hero bag. The Witch's Feast is where you can spend the pumpkins and use these to get rewards. Typically, I recommend if you have universal crystals, you use these to bump you up to get yourself some star spawn cores, as most free-to-play players will expect to get anywhere between 25 and 2700 of these soups across the week, assuming you're logging in every day. If you are able to spend a bit of money, you might find it a little easier to get the flag chest or the mysterious artifact selection chest without having to do that. And if you don't have any universal crystals, I'd encourage you to probably just go with any of these lower rewards here. I lean towards heroic summon scrolls, maybe the skins if you need them, and imminent hero chest if you're desperate for hero copies. With any leftover stuff, just go for spirit and gold. Now, if you were paying attention to those value packages, you'd have seen we get these arcade coins for the Adventure of the Brave 2.0. Now, this is a very complicated game because we have to use coins to do different stages of the game to get rewards, and the devs have intentionally made this confusing. First of all, the ways you get coins are really annoying. You can only get them in batches of 50. So if, for example, we take a look at the value packs, you can get 100 or 50 in each of these packs. It's a little bit annoying. On top of that, there's the Celebration Commission, which gets you various rewards, including treasure train tickets, but more importantly, you are getting 50 coins for each advancement. However, an advancement isn't equal to 50 coins. It is 75 points. So what you need to realize is 75 points gets you 50 coins, which are then used in the Adventure of the Brave, and that has a completely different coin total as well. So let's go and break down how the Adventure of the Brave works. First things first you'll need to do is select the way you're wanting to approach the game. This is completely cosmetic and doesn't matter. Most people are just going to go and get 4 cores of Transcendence. That, in my opinion, is the best option. Then you're randomly going to get another stage. These stages are ordered just for display reasons only. All you know for sure is that you are going to have this area at the beginning and this area at the end, and at some point you're going to find a merchant who hopefully shows up before this imp does. But you will definitely face the same things on every pass. So you'll go ahead and get a core of Transcendence typically on your first run, and on the next area you will find yourself a merchant. Now, this merchant is selling you all of these 10 items here, and each time you go ahead and buy something, it will cost you 4 gold. You can't immediately leave. You have to exchange at least 20 coins to this merchant to get something. My recommendation is to do all of the purchases you possibly can. That's going to cost you 40 coins in total, as that will guarantee you all these rewards here and a mysterious meat. That will allow you to move on to the next stage where you can engage with the imp. The imp will take off your hands the meat, make sure you give him this, and then he will demand 20 coins in return. Some people see that as not being as good as just going and skipping the merchant and then attacking the imp. That is the other option. Attacking the imp will use around 40 coins, but you still need to spend 20 coins to engage with the merchant. Therefore, the best thing you can do is just buy everything off the merchant, because all of these rewards are far better than the rewards you see down here, as this is giving fine wood and hard rock. 100 collaboration replacement coupons, which we'll talk about later, could be appealing, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it when you can get all of these rewards on offer. One huge mistake I've seen people make is they get the meat and then they go for action 2 anyway. This is really bad, as this will force you to use 40 additional coins to fight the imp, as you wouldn't have to do that, as you already actually have the meat to tempt him, and then it only costs you 20 coins. So make sure you absolutely don't blunder here and waste 20 coins by using action 2 instead of action 1. We move on to the next area, and this is going to be a fight here between the Demon Lord and yourself. You can either choose to just settle with him and get yourself Glorious Relics, or you can go for Action 2 and get yourself Master's Toolboxes, which is combat. So I would recommend go for whatever you need, but you might be tempted by Glorious Relics this week, but of course free-to-play players need as many Master's Toolboxes as they can get. Moving on to the next stage, we have Treasure Train items. Now, one of these gives holy damage, the other one gives control immunity, and that is only for PvE game modes. Go with whichever you want. Basically, they all cost the exact same. That's 40 more coins for that one. And this one, you can go ahead and fight this guy and get yourself some Stellar Shards and Crystals of Transcendence. This should use around 40 coins as well. And then finally, you get to the end. The ending you unlock will be based on the decision you made at the beginning, but this doesn't actually affect your rewards. If you look at the reward preview, it says Rewards 1, Reward 2, Reward 3, Reward 4. And some people think that that is the same as Ending 1, Ending 2, Ending 3, and Ending 4. It isn't. These rewards are for round 1, round 2, round 3, and round 4. So basically, each time you go through the game, you do get yourself an additional option of picking something slightly different. So the first time you go around, you'll get yourself an artifact chest, 120 swap items, something from the treasure train, and either Spiritual Essence, Sublimation, and a Core of Origin Shard. The second time you go around, you can either get yourself Spirit Vein Shards and Divine Power Aurora Gems. You'll also get an artifact chest with that too. And again, you'll get yourself a treasure item, and you'll get 120 replacement coupons. And then for round 3, similar stuff, but this time it's a pink treasure item. You still get an artifact, and then you get double the amount of Core Origin or Sublimation stuff, which is pretty cool. And then the final pass is going to get you 400,000 Scattered Spirit Vein Shards or 10 Divine Power Aurora Gems. And yeah, these seems pretty good, and the fact the rewards ramp up as you go in really encourages people to spend money. Now, to complete an entire stage, you're going to need 260 coins, which means you're going to have to go ahead and get yourself the Celebration Commission up to a point where you've got 300 coins, because there is no way you can do it in 250. I don't think that's really going to be the thing you're going to aim for. You're not going to be doing this. What you actually need to do is look at the next thing called the Joyful QA. Here we have different questions about the game that if you answer all of these correctly, you will get yourself 120 adventure gold coins. That is great, because if you have 120 coins, you can go to stage 3 here and get another 150, and that's going to take you to 270 of these coins, which is enough to do a full completion of the Adventure of the Brave. That means you only need to get to 225 points. So, how do we obtain these points? We get them for having 5-star tavern quests. You need to do 16 of those. You get 3 points for each for a total of 48. You need to spend 24,000 gems. Each 1,000 gems spent is 5 more points, and that will get you 120 points in total. You need to consume ordinary dice. Every 4 of them will get you 4 points in return. Most players expect to do about 80 ordinary dice, so you can expect here to get 80 points from there, and then you can, if you want to, awaken heroes in the Soul Temple, and you'll get 6 points for each one you do, up to 60, so you can do that 10 times. Any combination of doing these things here to get you to 225 points is completely doable, free to play. You don't have to spend any money for these things. The thing that's going to be difficult is, of course, doing the ordinary dice, as there is a limit to the number of these you can obtain. The other things, just mix and match whatever you can do. You should be maxing out the Tavern quest, but a mixture between gems and awakens, whatever you need, should get you enough to get to 225 points as a free-to-play player. Combine that by completing the questions here, and you'll be able to do a full completion. Now, let me draw your attention to the Starry Gem package real quick. You can go ahead and buy 100 of these coins for 2,500 contract Starry Gems. You also get 20 Charm Treasure coupons, and you're getting 90 dice on top of that. That means there's a lot of adventure coins up for grabs, because don't forget that for every 4 dice you use, you get more points to help you get more coins. So what you can do if you have contract Starry Gems is buy a 100 pack here and a 50 pack there. That's going to get you 150 coins. When you add the additional 135 dice that those packs will get you, you realize that you're getting over 200 dice, which means you get 200 points from here. Add to that the 120 and the 48, you're walking around with 368 points. Super duper easy to get. 368 is almost enough to get you to 375. And getting to 375 is exactly what you need to be able to do 2 full completes, assuming you bought those value packs with contract Starry Gems. Because that's 250 coins here, 150 coins from the packs, that takes you to 400. Add to that the 120 from doing the quizzes, that's 520, exactly enough to go ahead and do 2 full completions in the Adventure of the Brave. If you're wanting to get more and more points here though, you will have to consider awakening quite a large number of heroes, and also buying more packages to get more dice, and that will eventually not always just be able to be done with contract Starry Gems. You will have to start spending money to do that too. Although if you get all the way to the very top, you will be getting yourself Scattered Spirit Vein Shards and Divine Power Aurora Gems, and you will have to spend a few $100 to be able to do that, so it's up to you whether you really want to be doing that. You will be getting treasure train items anyway for doing that, so maybe it's appealing, but it's a lot of spending to do for just a New Year's event. You are picking up 10-star puppets, 9-star puppets, and other stuff there, so I guess for early whales who are struggling for food and promotion stones, that's not too bad. Now, you're probably looking for answers to these quiz questions. These quizzes are not new. We have the answers already available to us. I will link them in the description so that you can go ahead and get some images which will show you every single answer you need. But for an example as to how this works, we'll get asked many, many questions. So for example, which of the following artifacts is not available in the Glorious Temple? The answer is the Silver Key. That's actually a red artifact. We move on to the next one. What is the slogan of the Ormus Workshop? They are invincible artifacts. The next stage says, which of the following items cannot be consumed in the Summon Circle? The answer is Cause of Transcendence. Which of the following items is not used for upgrading monsters? The answer is gems. We move on to the next one, which is the perfect season for Eloise to enjoy a hot spring? The answer is, I think, summer? Nope, it's autumn. Yep. Man, I haven't done these questions in quite a while. What is the most unbelievable ingredient in the formula of the alchemy professor in the Magic Academy? The answer is Lutz. Which of the following Transcendence heroes has the aspiration to become a swordsman? The answer is Star Alchemist Holmes Young. What is the real name of Sleepless? The answer is Morag. Who is watching the dress of the Starry Night Halora? The answer is the spotlight on the ground. Which of the following heroes has a skin called Blushing Tipsy? The answer is Eloise. Which item will be consumed if you fail in the Tower of Oblivion? The answer is Magical Droplets. How many monsters are there in the game? The answer is 10. Next, which of the following heroes has the most skins? I think the answer is Valkyrie. She has tons. Yep. Which of the following items does not appear in the Aspen Dungeon? It is Death Potions. And which of the following items is not dropped in the campaign? It is, I think, Crystal Ingots. Yes. Which of the following items has no corresponding resource building in the Celestial Island? Is Promotion Stones. I really wish they'd add that, though. And in the Prophet Tree, which of the following hero factions cannot be replaced? The answer is Light. Which of the following functions is a one-tap feature in the game? It is the Idle Master. And which of the following items cannot be purchased in the marketplace? The answer is gold. And finally, which of the following animals is not a monster? It is tiger. Next on for stage 9, how many spider legs are on Nakia's back? Well, the answer is 4. How do the 2 masks rotate around Ada? It is counterclockwise. Which of the following is absolutely forbidden in the Fortress Magic Academy? I think it's to hide the headmaster's hat. Yeah. And how many members does the Angel Band currently have? The answer is 2. And what terrible thing will happen if you annoy Ignis the Dragon Maiden? She will bring a 3-day-long rain, enough to spoil your mooncakes. And the final one, stage 10, who is the doll around Annabelle based on? It is her parents. Which of the following difficulties does not exist in Aspen Dungeon? It is Aspen Heaven. What is in the glass of the Cleopatra skin for Amun-Ra? It is a little white snake. And what is the hair color of the bunny beauty for the super wishing coin? It is red. And who is the first person Russell met in the idle continent? The answer is Cruz. And there you go. That is all of our questions done. So I got a few attempts there. That's fine. It'll happen. And you get 10 failed attempts. And I think this resets every time as well. Let's have a look. Answer all the questions. You have a certain number of fail attempts per day. Yeah, so you could literally get 10 questions wrong each day. So it should be really easy to eventually pick all these things up. The questions, there will be some that are hard. There will be some that I haven't showed you here. As I said, there'll be a link to the pictures you need in the description, and that will give you the answers to all the questions. Next for this week, we have the Best Buy Unlimited Surprise. That's right, there are just some things you can do which are additional stores this week. This is fantastic. So we have Promotion Stones, we have Dust, we have Monster Parts, we have Guild Coins, and Celestial Island stuff, all available for gold. If you have a stockpile of gold, this is bonkersly good. Like, getting all Celestial Island stuff here is crazy. Guild coins are amazing for newer players. Promotion stones, same thing. Dust is really valuable, so getting all that stuff in is great. The gem store here is offering puppets. That's quite expensive, but very, very useful. You get 6-star light and darks here, which will really help people with their light and dark food, and it will enable newer players to be able to use Vulcan as an early Transcendence hero, because you need Andrea, Natalie, and Vulcan, and that's 3 light heroes you're going to have to build. The same goes for Lord of Fear Aspen. You need Lord of Fear Aspen, you need Drake or Aspen for slot 1, and then you're going to need yourself an Elenus. That's 3 you'll need there. And as well, it's good to have people like Carrie and Amon-Ra helping out as well, and that can get really expensive for dark food. So being able to pick this up if you've got some spare gems is really, really good. Also, you can buy 9-star and 10-star heroes here, which is great if you've got a stockpile of gems, because food is really useful, especially if you're an early player. And finally, the best part about this, artifacts are for sale with a 50 relic discount, which is fantastic. That includes the elusive mirror as well. You've got the fan here too, and also you can get yourself 7 glorious flag chests for 260 each. That is really, really nice. A lot of flags available there. Really good. On top of everything else, we've got a series collection, so you will be getting yourself the New Year treasure coupons throughout the week, and you can go ahead and consume those if you get to 30 to get yourself this chest here. If you get to 60, you get another one, and if you get to 100, you get the pink one. I would only do these in batches of 30, 60, or 100 to maximize your rewards. Any coupons you don't use can be converted to normal treasure coupons at the end of the week. If you are going to go for this for the first time, I would recommend going for the Encapsulated Memories. If you fully completed that, I would lean towards getting the Sweet Slumber. For the pink stuff, it's typically good to go for the Bunny or the Camera, as both of these give all damage dealt. The Camera has a slight edge though and gives a little bit more. The last 2 things we're going to look at are spender stuff. We have the Celebration gift card. This is giving us a 15-day drop reward if you go ahead and buy these cards. You'll get yourself a ton of gems, relics, Master's Toolboxes. You'll get Stellar Shards and Crystals of Transcendence every single day for 15 days, and that costs you $15. And the next one is $20, and that's giving you 200 Contract Starry Gems every day for 15 days. So that's 3,000 Contract Starry Gems for $20. That's really not that bad. However, do bear in mind the auction house has some crazy conversion rates at the moment. If I go ahead and filter by buyout price and filter by B+, you'll see that I can go ahead and buy a B+ hero for as little as 600. This is not a joke. You can get them super duper cheap. They were selling for $599 before, although all of them have been pretty much bought out. You got to look for them. They will come up. And actually, you can destroy that for 1,800 Contract Starry Gems, effectively tripling the Starry Gems at your disposal. So if you have a cheap way of getting yourself some Starry Gems, that's an even cheaper way of getting yourself Contract Starry Gems, because it triples the relative value. So think of that before you go ahead and buy this card. You might find this a cheaper way to pick up Contract Starry Gems. And last but not least, we have the Adventure Pack. This is giving you 10,000 gems, 35 dice, so that can help you with the event. You're getting 200 Universal Crystals, 25 Charm Treasure Coupons, and it's doubling your rewards from Imp's Adventure. So this is not compulsory at all for doing any of the stuff this week. In fact, it's completely not linked. Like, Imp's Adventure progress isn't linked to making progress at all. It's just, obviously, the amount of dice you use is the only way you can accumulate rewards. However, it's kind of hard to pass this up when it gives so many coupons and also doubles the rewards. Like, if you're going hard on this event, you will likely be going at least twice around Imp's Adventure. So doubling all that and getting loads more 9-star stuff, and actually doubling the material selection test too as well, could be really, really tempting. When you add in the fact that that gives coupons and also 10,000 gems, that pack really isn't bad for $50. I'd take it or leave it. Depends whether you personally feel like you want to be getting this. If you're skipping this event though, and you're just going in for one pass in the Adventure of the Brave, I wouldn't be grabbing it. But if I was doing a lot of stuff and I was using Contract Starry Gems as well to pick up a lot of dice, I would strongly consider getting this pack, as that will massively improve the amount of rewards I get from Imps Adventure. So yeah, a lot of stuff to sink your teeth into this week. We've got these really good value cards, we've got this package, and make sure you go ahead and get these quiz questions done, as that will get you 120 coins, which puts you well on your way for a full complete in the Adventure of the Brave. Should be really easy to do one full pass in the Adventure of the Brave, and if you need to do another one, you will be doing contract story gems, or to go even further, you'll have to spend money. The last thing here we have is the New Year's replacement, where you can go ahead and swap heroes, skins, glorious flags, and mysterious artifacts. So first thing you can do here is swap Shadow, Forest, Abyss, and Fortress heroes into other heroes from all of those factions. So for example, I could turn a Karma into a Gaggy, but I cannot turn a Karma into a Carry. You're not allowed to turn them into light and darks. It does mean though that I can turn any light hero into any dark hero. So if you're low on light and dark food, you can actually swap your light heroes into dark heroes. Pretty useful if you're going to focus towards an Aspen, because you're not necessarily going to need a lot of light heroes. However, it could wreck your light hero progress if you ever at any point wanted to switch to a Vulcan, so just bear that in mind. But for accounts that already have a massive surplus of light heroes, it's not a bad idea to swap them into darks. However, that might not be the thing you want to do at all, as we do have a skin swap event, which can turn any skin here into a different skin. So I can turn normal skins into other normal skins. If they're legendary, I can turn them into legendary. If they're like this tick skin and they're festival exclusive, I can turn them into other festival skins as well. That's going to cost me 120. And actually, if I have a mythic skin, which I do, I'll show you, I have a mythic skin here for Alamak, I could turn any mythic skin into another mythic skin, and that's going to cost 220. That's pretty exciting. But you can also swap flags as well. If I wanted to swap this Shadow flag into a Transcendence flag, that would cost me 240. And if you really want to, you can swap artifacts. So let's take this Magic Stone Sword, for example. I could turn that into the Elusive Mirror, and that's going to cost me 320. If it's glittery or radiant or splendid, that increases proportional to how many more copies you'll need. Or you could do something really weird, which is swap a normal artifact into a mysterious artifact, but that's going to cost you 900, and that's quite hard to do. These do cost a lot of money to pick up. They cost 50 gems each, and you can get 500 of them. So that means if you really want to go crazy on this, you'll have to spend 25,000 gems. I'd probably avoid doing that. But if you do need to go and swap your artifacts, this is a great way to do it. So if you need to swap anything, whether it's heroes, artifacts, whatever, this is a great opportunity to switch that stuff to probably better optimize your account. The one thing we wish we had, though, was a core swap event, and unfortunately, we don't have that. And that's it for this week's event. Hopefully you guys can get some really nice rewards. There's a lot of stuff available for you, a lot of Spirit Banes and Destiny stuff if you do go hard on this event. You don't have to, though. Just make sure, though, when you meet this merchant, you go ahead and get all of the items, so you're guaranteed to pick up the meat. Even if you get the meat early, still go ahead and hoover up the rest, because there's no point having coins left over at the end, because you won't be able to do much with them at all. Leftover coins aren't very useful if they're not going to get you more progress in this. So be really careful when considering if you're going to skip over this, if you high roll the mysterious meat early, because there are a lot of great rewards here, and if you're left with like 30 coins at the end that you can't do anything with, you will kick yourself. Because don't forget, these coins are given to you in batches of 50, so it's really, really difficult to extend yourself with coins. There's not a way you can really push them out unless you're doing multiple turnovers of this event, which I don't think many people are going to be doing. And if you are going to do multiple turnovers of this event, it's probably unlikely that you're going to run out of coins. So go ahead and make sure you buy everything if you can. And please do not make the mistake of forgetting to feed the guy the meat if you get it. Come on. That would be ridiculous and will waste a lot of your coins. All that said, next week we've got a pretty bog standard Prophet Orb event. This is just a quiet Prophet Orb event before the big Prophet Orb event we'll get at Valentine's Day, so I'm not expecting much from this one. We've got Natalie as a reward for Heroic Miracle. The Prophet Orb reward is Betty, and it seems like it's going to be a pretty chill one. They might chuck a gala on this or something to make it interesting, but it's unlikely. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what that is next time. So hit the subscribe button if you want to find out what that is all about. Anyway, folks, don't forget the answers for the quiz will be in the description. I will see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you all the best. Have an amazing week. And of course, happy idling.